I'm just going to talk shit. I came with the aim to break hearts tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. So this one's, like all my poems, a sad one. It's called 16, Mean and Unclean. At the age of 16 I lost my mother. Safe to say I was an only child, never had a brother or a sister. My mister was a Mr. Ian McBurney. It was safe to say I grew up with a worry in a hurry. It's hard to lose a parent young, especially when you're a person who's shy like me. Had to grow up quick, had to grow up shit. Growing up in Socky, all the kids used to mock me, saying, "Hamish, shut the fuck up, you'll never be a Scottish rapper." I used to think to them, what was the matter? I'm your friend. Why do you drive my mind round the bend? Isn't it safe to say that you should all be happy for me at the end of the day? Be happy to express myself no matter what way I can, whether it be through my raps or a punk band. I scanned every single person in school, realised I was uncool. That's why they used to hurt me and act like I was a tool. There is no authority but yourself. There's no Hollywood rule. I always used to think if I worked hard enough, I would be on the brink of a great life. As GBH said, I live my life on the edge of a knife. I've always struggled through strife. Life was never easy. Unlike the Stranglers song, it was nice and sleazy. My mother raised me the best she could. I was always worried that I would end up like all the bad people that I'd ever met. See, Socky, it was alright to grow up in, but you always met bams who had other plans, who always pretended that they were good mans, with demands that would follow them around like a bad stench. Everywhere I went, I had to live up to the name McBurney. It was a worry. I thought, fuck, if I get out of this place and if I hurry, then maybe I won't get into a fight. It seemed like no matter where I went, it was always darkness. But no matter who I met, I always portrayed light. It was alright. You see, there was a band I loved called Blitz, and they had a song called Fight to Live. And I always felt like throughout all my life I always had to fight. At the age of 12, when I discovered hip hop, I put what I had to say into what I write. It was safe to say I didn't think of myself as very good at the art that I'd done at the end of the day. I felt like I didn't find the way to express myself. I didn't want to be left on the shelf. I wanted to be the greatest of all time, wanted to have millions of wealth. But after I discovered punk rock and the Ramones, I realised that what mattered was the music in your bones. I just wanted to be a part of it, never wanted to be praised. It's difficult to say. A lot of people would say to me, "Hamish, you're a fool. No wanting to be a millionaire and be cool. No wanting to see a young lady and drill. But I'm happy the way I am. See, to some people I'll always be that socky bam. But I looked up to people like David Bowie. They made me feel like in the Shire I had glam. So it's alright walking up Gatmorn Dam, celebrating my mother's anniversary. In college I didn't have a big bursary. I've always been myself. It's always been good for my mental health. Thank you. Came out of those eras, you know, you had bands like the Buzzcocks and the Pistols and the Clash and you know, all those bands that, in my opinion, change music, you know. If it wasn't for those bands, a lot of independent artists nowadays wouldn't be able to do what they did. So this one's about that era and how my generation take on that era. Way back in 76, bored and full of violence. Way back in 77, all the good kids have gone to heaven. I felt like I was in an army of Spartans when I walked through with my Doc Martens. Seen Mohicans, leather jackets. Realised that all the bands that were on the bill were about to cause a racket. Go to the bar. Realised that I was underage, but it was like being in a spa. They let me spend whatever I want. I had no riches to flaunt. They never asked me my age. All they ever asked me was my rage. But you see, it was quite easy for me to manoeuvre for the Glasgow punk scene. Some of them were alright and some of them were mean. Some of them cut through your skin like a laser beam. Seeing bands like Razorblade Smile, it was alright, even though some of them had a smile that looked like they should be on Jeremy Kyle. Once in a while, you would see a band that would change your life. Saw GBH at 18, realised I was no longer living my life on the edge of a knife. I was a sick boy who was coming through like a city baby attacked by rats. 'Cause raps, while they were helping, they weren't always getting me through. I drew from the fanzines and the leather jackets and the mohawks and the people who acted mean. Used to be a punk and a skinhead. That word can fill people with a lot of dread. But then in terms of gangster rap, that could fill people with a lot of lead. I never cared about my street cred, always done it the way I wanted. Never had no riches to flaunt. 'Cause you see, I was never raised like that. Was always raised to be a good man with good chat. My mother was the best woman I ever known in my life. And when she died, it was safe to say that I despised myself. I've made a lot of mistakes. In my bones I've never made breaks. And that's okay. I know if she was here today, I know what she would say. On her deathbed she told me, Hamish, if you were a dustman, or if you worked for cleaning up the streets, I'd still be proud of you. So wherever I go, I still preach anarchy. My father never accepted me. He wasn't around in my life a lot. From the age of 8 all the way to 15, I grew up preaching hate. Rage is in my heart, and with me it will never part. That's a start. It's safe to say, rage comes out of me like a fart. Punk rock gave me the courage to get up and stand on this stage. The Ramones, they were all there. They're all in my bones. Every artist, Janis Joplin, she was the one who, when I was a young child, she soothed my blues. It was safe to say. Whenever I want to snooze, I find it hard because my mother ain't there to say, good night, Hamish. Hope everything goes well the next day. I find it hard to sleep at night. That's why I come here, drinking like a shite. Putting everything I put into right. That's alright. I know that what I say might be incoherent or not make sense, but I just live my life on the fence. From whence I came is where I wish that I would remain. I've made mistakes, I'm not proud of it. I go out with a nice lady, she's got the heart of gold. But sometimes I think she would have deserved an angel instead of a devil like me. Safe to say, I'm just trying the best to be. Thank you. So, it's safe to say, if you couldn't tell, I come from the punk rock scene.
Really?
Yeah. I know it's quite hard to believe, but I come from the hip hop scene as well. And at the end of this one, I'm going to quote two bands that were quite prevalent to me in the punk rock scene. One of them is an anarcho-punk band called Crass, who were quite prolific. And another one was another narco-punk band called Flux of Pink Indians. And if there's any Extinction Rebellion people in the room, their poem at the beginning of their song might appeal to those people. But yeah, I come from a mean place called Socky, so you can mock me. Shire, a lot of people look at it and always think that it was always on fire. But I represent those kids, for you see, when I was growing up, there was no one there. The closest heroes we had were in Dunfermline, and that was the Skids. For you see, there was no one there talking like me. When I became an MC, I thought they'd all back me. But all they had something to say was attack me. Put out my first album, I thought they'd be happy. But they weren't. They weren't supportive. So I had to reach out to my friends in Scottish hip hop. They didn't think that the stuff that I dropped was shit. I'm always asking, how low can a punk get? It's safe to say. You see, I followed the Wu-Tang way. I always wanted to be a positive role model in my area. But when I look in the mirror, I realise that there's nothing scarier. I'm always warier whenever I come back to Alloa. See, it's got its problems. It's not a great place, but I still love it regardless. I'll always be an artist. I never wanted to be the hardest that came out of there. Just wanted to be a positive influence. I hope that one day, when I grow up, and when I get older, and when I think that the whole world is colder and I've turned my shoulder on that place, that someone who emerges from Clackmannan will come forward and say, "You impacted me in a positive way." That's all I want. I don't want to be the best. I just want to get this shit off my chest. I guess that anything that I can do to relieve my stress is all that matters. See, other rappers would boast about how they're fucking macking, about how they're attacking all these whacking MCs. But in this state of mind, all I am is saying, please, I know I've done wrong. I know that people around me have sung maybe a bad song, and I know that people around me have maybe enjoyed one or more songs. But I ain't like them. Everywhere I go, no matter my flow, it's always been slow. I know I'm in a state to say that I ain't the best, because sometimes I'm rowing with the people I love. But in this state I would say that I'm like Shane McGowan. And that's all that really matters. I used to be wanted to be one of the greatest rappers. But to me, all that matters is the taking part. All that matters to me is the art. I don't care about the money. That's funny. See, at the end of the day, all that really matters is that people remember me. Fight war, not wars. That's by Crass. Can you smell the new smell? I can, lad. It's coming through the air. Over the herbs, down in valley. There's new buildings there. There's a nuclear power dump site. But Parliament doesn't care. But why not bury it there? Thank you.